what they recharge cash power now through SMS. No matter. Ada ban line ma QCell. On ma line QCell. Bada mbo register wada register mitaji didi. Wala kala wondo gander galle dañ do line QCell. Wada register mita on de choglu don fo so don coupon. Demi ya ha QCell wada register. Ala jarani ko jata. Wada register through SMS. Nul da dum sa nul di dum ha gayni. QCell na funtini carte mbiyetede Q power scratch card ay den carte ada hen wawi wadde recharge walla téléphone ma hoore ma crédit wondo gande téléphone ma yetta mo batta mo kaspa okuba hala QCell tan hebi dum ko QCell tan dañi dum ina na fuddarde leydi Gambia kono caggal QCell ala jogi dum ndir ni min kay meedamo yide ka nder aduna sina QCell tan dum gonga walla kono sambe kono mi sodete kaspa ko crédit kan yo ay samba di register mitama ha gayni andara dumunna ko sogluda nulda dum 333 walla si tawi ada jogi Q power scratch card hosambo yetta pino nulda mo 333 be nulduma code on ko natina bo nder mitama kuba jam nyalla wala ko ne nyalla yore jartole da ko galle jam yo kella so ari yo kella so ari.
Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what you've been through, you can make it if you believe. You've got the potentials living in you. You've got the power to succeed. You've got the power to achieve. You've got the power if you believe. Success power.
Welcome to Success Power. We're discussing as a key to success. Leadership has been defined in different ways. Sometimes it's really difficult to understand it. However, when you see true leadership, you recognize it. These days we are told that leadership is simply influence, the ability to influence people to achieve worthwhile goals, or the ability to determine outcomes by influencing people. Now, Dr. John Maxwell, one of the world's leading experts on leadership, says that one of the irrefutable laws of leadership is the law of sacrifice. He said leaders give up to go up. So many people today are puzzled that they are not succeeding in leadership. There are parents that are puzzled that they are unable to influence their children positively or get them to obey them. There are managers of departments in organizations, there are business owners that are puzzled by the fact that people are not cooperating with them. People who occupy leadership positions in government all over the world who are puzzled today that what they have are crisis after crisis after crisis. And they're wondering what people really, really want. They do not understand exactly what it takes to succeed in leadership. Our subject, sacrifice, is one of the major secrets of success in leadership. If leadership is the ability to influence people, then sacrificing for people is one of the best ways to get their attention and to influence them positively. See, there is no better way for you to communicate to someone that you love him or her, that you genuinely care for him or her, more than for you to sacrifice on their behalf, or for you to be willing to sacrifice When someone is willing to let go of his or her food, when someone is willing to let go of his or her money, when someone is willing to let go of his or her comfort, or time, or energy, or possessions, or even opportunities, and I think most of all, life, when someone is willing to let go of his or her life, willing to give up his or her very life, just to see you either survive or become better, you couldn't find a better way to communicate love and genuine care than that. And you know what? If you occupy a leadership position but you do not genuinely love and care for the people that you are leading, you're not likely to succeed as a leader. I tell people, if you occupy a leadership position but you don't have love, it's better you leave that position, go and look for love, then come back and occupy that position, because failure, leadership failure, is almost absolutely guaranteed. If you don't have love in your heart, you will fall into the trap of selfishness and self-centeredness. You will fall into the trap of greed. And you're very likely going to fall into the trap of envy, because you will be threatened. Your security will be threatened by the success of the people that you are supposed to help to succeed. Lack of love will reduce or minimize your capacity for love for other people. So, to succeed in leadership, one key word is sacrifice. You look all over the world and look at people occupying leadership positions in government who are amassing wealth for themselves at the expense of their citizens, and tell me whether they are successful or not. And gradually, when we allow that lack of willingness to sacrifice to fester in our hearts, it ultimately kills our consciences. It just puts us in a position where we don't care. We tell ourselves, look, these problems existed before I came into office. They'll still be there after I go. I didn't create them in the first instance, so they're not my fault. Listen, it's the lack of capacity for sacrifice that causes such a thing. To build a successful society, everyone has to be willing to give up something. When the measure of sacrifice in a nation, which of course is demonstrated by people in leadership, when the measure of sacrifice is very little or non-existent, nobody else in the society wants to sacrifice, you see that such a society does not make progress. Sometimes we have to sacrifice to make research. If we will find new ways of doing things, new ways of curing certain sicknesses and diseases, some people need to sacrifice. And there are foundations, there are individuals that pump their hard-earned money into such, research efforts. That's why our world is getting better. That's why we're discovering new and better and faster and cheaper ways of doing things. Some people are paying the price. Some others are sacrificing their lives, literally, in the laboratory to find cures for diseases. Let me ask you, dear viewer, what price are you paying today? What are you sacrificing? Because it describes the measure of the quality of your leadership as a person. And you know that the most difficult person you will ever lead is yourself. And you can't lead other people further than you have gone. We can't succeed in leadership without the willingness to pay the price, without the willingness, to give up, without the willingness to sacrifice. That's the way it works. What are you willing to give up to achieve your own goals as a person? If you are not willing to pay any price to improve yourself, you're not willing to deprive yourself of food, you're not willing to deprive yourself sometimes of opportunities for making money, you can't deprive yourself of sex, or any other pleasures for